Okay, polynomials exercise 2.1 will go into. So the first question is the graph of y is equal to p of x are given for some polynomials p of x are given for some polynomials p of x. Find the number of zeros of p of x in each case. So now how do we find out the number of zeros for each cases where the graph intersects the x-axis at how many of our points so many zeros exist. If it is intersecting the x-axis at only 1 point, then 1 0, at 2 points 2 zeros, at 3 points 3 zeros. So how many, where the place where the graph is intersecting the x-axis only we'll see over here. So now in the first case we having x-axis, y-axis, the graph is given, and this line whatever is the graph given over here, it is intersecting only the y-axis, it's not intersecting the x-axis. So over here the graph y is equal to p of x does not cut the x-axis at any point, so the given polynomial has no zero. So the given polynomial has no zero. There is no zero at all existing for this type of polynomial. Then the second case we'll consider here. In the second graph, we can see that the graph, it is touching the x-axis in one place and the y-axis also in one place. So we have to only consider the place where it is considering where it is cutting the x-axis. So it is cutting the x-axis at only one point. So how many zeros are there for this? There exists for this polynomial, it has only 1 0 because it cuts the x-axis at only 1 point, exactly 1 point. So therefore the graph y is equal to p of x cuts the x-axis at 1 point as a given polynomial. So the given polynomial has 1 0. Next, in the third case, we'll see what's happening in the third case. How many points does it intersect the x-axis? We'll again go through after drawing the graph. So x-axis, the y-axis, we can see here the graph is intersecting the y-axis at 1 point, the x-axis at 3 points. So after drawing the graph, you can see that it is intersecting the x-axis at exactly 3 points. So how many zeros will exist? There will be 3 zeros for this type of graph which cuts the x-axis at 3 points. We never consider the place where it cuts the y-axis. We only consider the case where it cuts the x-axis. Since it cuts the x-axis at 3 points, we get that there are 3 zeros. So the given polynomial has 3 zeros. So going into the next fourth one, in the fourth case, you draw the x-axis, y-axis, name those. So in this you have that the graph is a parabola open upwards, and this graph is intersecting the x-axis at exactly 2 points. So therefore the graph y is equal to p of x cuts the x-axis at 2 points. So the given polynomial has how many zeros? It has 2 zeros. It is cutting at the negative x-axis at 2 points. So the given polynomial has 2 zeros. Yeah, going into the fifth one, Draw the x-axis, draw the y-axis. Here there is some wave which is there and it's touching the x-axis at so many points. This graph, we'll see at how many points does it touch the x-axis and y-axis. We count only those which touch the x-axis, at how many points it is touching the x-axis. So here you can see totally it is touching 1, 2, 3, 4 points on the x-axis. So how many zeros are there for this? Whatever points the graph is touching at 4 points, so there are 4 zeros for the given polynomial. Since the graph y is equal to p of x cuts the x-axis at 4 points, so the given polynomial has 4 zeros. It is touching 2 in the positive side, 2 in the negative side. So they are totally 4. Negative x-axis and positive x-axis, 2, 2. Okay, then the last one which we are having here is, we'll see at how many points it is meeting the x-axis. We are having some 3 parabolas here also. So here 1, 2, 3 points it is touching on the x-axis. Therefore, the graph y is equal to p of x cuts the x-axis at exactly 3 points. Cuts the x-axis at 3 points. So the given polynomial has 3 zeros. So the given polynomial has 3 zeros. Now exercise 2.1 is over. We'll go into exercise 2.2. Polynomials chapter 2, exercise 2.2. So what is there in the first question, we'll just see. In the concepts I have told you all the formula or what to use over here. So anyhow, while doing the problem also you can see. So find the zeros of the following quadratic polynomials and verify the relationship between the zeros and the coefficient. Find the zeros of the following quadratic means the power or the degree of x is nothing but 2 over here, degree of the polynomial, and the power of x is 2. So find the zeros of the following quadratic polynomial and verify the relationship between the zeros and the coefficient. Between the zeros and the coefficients. So how to solve these problems, we'll just see. We'll first factorize the given quadratic polynomial. Using the factorization, we'll name those as 2 roots, that is 2 zeros, alpha and beta, and then we'll see what is the sum and then the product, and then we'll compare with the coefficients. So the first problem given over here is x square minus 2x minus 8. You can write 2x minus 2x as minus 4x plus 2x. So you're writing the factors for this, taking out x common in the first 2 terms, and last 2 terms also you can take out x common. So you can write down it as x minus 4 into x plus 2. So equating to 0. When you equate these values into to 0, then you get what are the 2 zeros of this. That is, x is equal to 4 is 1 0, x is equal to minus 2 is one of the 0. So for the value of x square minus 2x minus 8 should to be equal to 0. When is this equal to 0? When x minus 4 is equal to 0 or one of them is 0, that is x minus 4 or x plus 2. So when you are equating them to 0, you are getting x is equal to 4 or x is equal to minus 2. So the zeros are 4 and minus 2. So what is the sum of the zeros? What is the product of the zeros? We'll see. So sum of the zeros means you have to add both the zeros, that is 4 and minus 2. So this can be written as 2 by 1, which is equal to minus coefficient of x by coefficient of x square. What is the coefficient of x in this case? Minus 2, isn't it? So you are getting there as minus 2 by 1. You are getting 2 by 1, but in the formula we have written it as minus of coefficient of x. So it will become minus 2. Okay. So then product of the zeros is 4 into minus 2, which is minus 8 by 1. Constant term is what over here? Constant term is minus 8 by 1. Okay. So this is the answer which we are having. The next one is 4x square minus 4x plus 1. All the problems are solved. Totally 6 problems are there. So all of them in the same manner you have to do. Now minus 4x can be written as, it's a perfect square over here. You can see minus 2x minus 2x. So 2x minus 1 whole square is nothing but 4x square minus 4x plus 1. So we are just writing it. So the value of this is to be, value of 4x square is 0. When is this value 0? When 2x minus 1 is equal to 0, or 2x, any of the one of the two of 2x minus 1 is 0. So in this case you get x is equal to half or x is equal to half. Therefore the zeros of this are, of the given polynomial, are half and half. So we'll find out what is the sum, then what is the product. So sum of the zeros is 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2, which is 1. 1 by 1 we write it is equal to minus coefficient of x divided by coefficient of x square. That is nothing but, from that formula there you are having it as minus 4 by 4 we can write, isn't it? When you are multiplying it in the numerator and denominator, so you will get it as minus 4 by 4. And product of zeros is nothing but half into half, which is equal to 1 by 4, which is equal to constant term divided by coefficient of x square. Constant term over here is what? 1, and coefficient of x square is nothing but 4. So 1 by 4 you get. So previously you understood, I think, no? Because minus coefficient of x by coefficient of x square, 4 by 4, and that to minus of minus 4 by 4 will give you 1 by 1. There you are getting the answer. So sum of zeros should be equal to the coefficients. The relationship should be same. That is, they have to be verified in that way. Now in this actually second problem, x is equal to s, but I put it as x only and did. So please change it to s. Okay. So now third one is written, minus 7x can be written as minus 9x plus 2x. So you factorize that, you get it as 3x plus 1 into 2x minus 3. So for this to be equal to 0, you should have either 3x plus 1 or 2x minus 3 to be equal to 0. One of them should be equal to 0. So you should, from this you get two zeros, that is x is equal to minus 1 by 3, x is equal to 3 by 2. Now these are the two zeros, means sum of the zeros is minus 1 by 3 plus 3 by 2, which is equal to 7 by 6, which is equal to minus coefficient of x by coefficient of x square. So minus of minus 7 divided by 6, which will give you 7 by 6, and we got sum of zeros in that. You can cross check with your equation also. Product of zeros is nothing but minus 1 by 3 into 3 by 2. 3 will get cancelled. So you are getting it as minus 1 by 2, or 3 by 6 you can write it as. So according to the problem, you will be 3 by 6 means that is constant term by coefficient of x square. When you are writing it as 3 by 6, you will get 3. It will be equal to half. Okay. Now next, the fourth one, we are having it as 4u square plus 8u. So here for this term to be equal to 0, you have 4u should be equal to 0, or u plus 2 should be equal to 0. So the two zeros are 0 and minus 2. Sum of the zeros is minus 2 by 1, which is coefficient of x divided by coefficient of x square. So that is 8 by 4, which is nothing, minus 8 by 4 is nothing but minus 2 you get. So product of the zeros is 0, because you are having constant term is 0 over here. So therefore 0 by 1 is 0. You are getting here it is equal to 0. Then the fifth one is t square minus 15, which can be written as t square minus root 15 whole square. It is in the form of a square minus b square, which is equal to a plus b into a minus b. So you can write this as t plus root 15 into t minus root 15. So t is equal to minus root 15 or plus root 15. So for it to be 0, we have to equate these two zeros, the product of those two. So from that you will get what are the zeros. So what is the sum of the zeros and what is the product of the zeros, we'll see. Sum of the zeros is 0, 0 by 1, so which is equal to minus coefficient of x by coefficient of x square. Since you don't have coefficient of x, so therefore it is 0. Coefficient of t we don't have, I'm sorry. So therefore that is 0 by 1. And this is product is nothing but 15 minus 15 by 1, which is nothing but constant term divided by coefficient of x square, which is minus 15 by 1. So that is verified. Now the next last one in this first problem, you are having 3x square minus x minus 4. So here you can write x as minus 4x plus 3x. So after taking, now in order for 3x square minus x minus 4 to be 0, you have to get either x plus 1 should be 0 or 3x minus 4 should be equal to 0. So x is equal to minus 1 or x is equal to 4 by 3. So the zeros are minus 1 and 4 by 3. So sum of the zeros is equal to 1 by 3 you are getting. So which is equal to minus of coefficient of x by coefficient of x square. You can compare it with the equation. So you are getting a minus of minus 1 by 3. So therefore it is satisfying 1 by 3. You are getting the answer there. Product of zeros is minus 1 into 4 by 3, which is minus 4 by 3. This is constant term divided by coefficient of x square, which is the constant term over here is minus 4 and that is 3. So therefore it is satisfied over here. So now going into the second one, find a quadratic polynomial each with the given numbers as the sum and product of its zeros respectively. With the given numbers as the sum and product of its zeros respectively. So in the first problem, the sum of the zeros is given as 1 by 4 and the product is given as minus 1. So let the quadratic polynomial be ax square plus bx plus c and its zeros be alpha and beta. Then the sum of the zeros, that is alpha plus beta, is equal to 1 by 4, which implies minus b by a is equal to 1 by 4, which implies a is equal to minus 4b. Next we have the product of the zeros, that is alpha into beta, is equal to minus 1, which implies c by a is equal to minus 1 or c is equal to minus a. If a is equal to 1, then b is equal to minus 1 by 4 and c is equal to minus 1. So we are considering first always put a is equal to 1, then you will get the remaining automatically. So the quadratic equation or the quadratic polynomial which fits the given condition is x square minus, it should be of the form ax square plus bx plus c. So we got the values of a, b, c, we substitute in that. So which is equal to x square minus 1 by 4x minus 1 or 4x square minus x minus 4. So this is the answer. Going into the second one. So here the quadratic polynomial which we considered, we are given the sum of the roots, sum of the zeros is root 2 and the product is 1 by 3. So let the quadratic polynomial be ax square plus bx plus c and alpha and beta be the zeros of this polynomial. Then alpha plus beta is equal to root 2, which implies minus b by a is equal to root 2, or minus b is equal to a root 2. Alpha into beta is equal to 1 by 3. C by a is equal to 1 by 3, which implies a is equal to 3c. So now we put, if a is equal to 1, then you substitute in the remaining, you will get b is equal to minus 2 and c is equal to 1 by 3. So therefore the quadratic polynomial which fits the given condition is ax square plus bx plus c. Substitute the value of abc. It is x square minus root 2x plus 1 by 3, or 3x square minus 3 root 2x plus 1. Then next, going into the third one. Here the sum of the roots is 0 and the product is root 5. Okay, so let the quadratic polynomial be ax square plus bx plus c, and its zeros are alpha and beta. So alpha plus beta is equal to 0, which implies minus b by a is equal to 0. So b is equal to 0. Next, alpha into beta is equal to root. Okay, I have taken here, instead of root 5, I have taken it as root 3. So I continued it as root 3. But in the question it is root 5. So accordingly you all can do. So if a is equal to 1, b is equal to 0, c is equal to root 3. So the quadratic polynomial which best fits the condition is ax square plus bx plus c. So here you are having b is 0 here. So the equation will become x square plus 0x plus root 3, or x square plus root. The next, fourth one. In this you are having 1 and 1. The sum is also 1. The product is also 1. So let the quadratic polynomial be ax square plus bx plus c, and its zeros are alpha and beta. So alpha plus beta is equal to 1, minus b by a is equal to 1, which implies that b is equal to minus a, or minus b is equal to a, and alpha into beta is equal to 1, c by a is equal to 1, which implies that a is equal to c. If a is equal to 1, we get b is equal to minus 1, c is also equal to 1. So now the quadratic polynomial which best fits the condition is nothing but ax square plus bx plus c. So now here a is 1, b is minus 1, c is 1, means what is the answer we get over here? We get it as x square minus x plus 1. Then the fifth one, we are having minus 1 by 4 and 1 by 4. So let the quadratic polynomial be ax square plus bx plus c, and its zeros are alpha and beta. Then alpha plus beta is equal to minus 1 by 4, which is minus b by a is equal to 1 by 4. Minus minus get cancelled. So b is equal, 4b is equal to a, and alpha into beta is equal to 1 by 4. So c by a is equal to 1 by 4. So 4c is equal to a, or c is equal to a by 4. So now if we take a is equal to 1, b is equal to 1 by 4, c is also equal to 1 by 4. So therefore the quadratic polynomial which best fits the given condition, ax square plus bx plus c, where we got a is equal to 1, b is equal to 1 by 4, and c is equal to 1 by 4, is x square plus 1 by 4x plus 1 by 4. So now you take LCM, you get 4x square plus x plus 1 is the answer for this. Now the last problem in this exercise is 4 and 1 is the sum and product is 1 and sum is 4. So let the quadratic polynomial be ax square plus bx plus c, and its zeros are alpha and beta. So then alpha plus beta is equal to 4 by 1, which we can write it as minus b by a is equal to 4 by 1, or minus b is equal to 4a, and c by a is equal to 1, c is equal to a. If a is equal to 1, then you are having b is equal to minus 4 and c is also equal to 1. So therefore the quadratic polynomial which best fits the condition is ax square plus bx plus c. Substituting the value of a, b, c, you get x square minus 4x plus 1.